Greetings, my wonderful audience, and welcome back to Spyro Month, the only time of year when it's completely acceptable to tase absolutely anyone you please. As many of you Spyro fans know, around 2008-2009, there were plans to adapt the Legend of Spyro trilogy of games that had recently been released at the time into an animated film. Now, seems like a pretty cool idea on paper, especially as the Legend of Spyro games were meant to be a much more epic and cinematic take on the Spyro games. But the movie was cancelled around 2010 because Activision wanted to take the franchise in a different direction, which of course led to Skylanders. But a script was written, and this poster here that you're seeing now was made, but the film never got beyond that stage. Now, earlier this year, in early June, one day before my 18th birthday as a matter of fact, the fourth draft of the script was actually leaked. And here it is. As you can see on the front, it was written by the Altair brothers. Now, I'm gonna get the warning bells out. The Altair brothers are infamous for writing really bad scripts with really lowbrow humour and stuff. Most infamously, they wrote the script for Norm of the North, which is considered to be one of the worst animated films ever made. So, yeah, this was not a very good script. After it was released and Spyro fans read and reviewed it, they mostly disliked it. But what do I think of it? Well, I'm gonna have another quick flick through it. I have listened to the script in the past, but in this video I'm gonna have a quick flick through it, summarise the plot, and tell you my thoughts during and after I read through it. Hopefully, this won't be a full-on line-for-line reading like some Spyro fans have done, but it's just going to be mainly a plot summary and my thoughts on the script. So, with no more ado, let's begin. The Legend of Spyro by the Altair brothers. So it fades in on an ancient world. Now I actually quite like how this film was meant to open. You see, it describes dragons flying around, a silver river, a pink sun rising over a magical landscape. Despite this film's low budget of around $20 million, I think the opening shot would have looked absolutely beautiful. And there's a few little cute things here. Dragon tag, a mother and father dragonfly beside their son, and they cheer him as he takes the air for the first time. Some pretty cute scenes here. And then, of course, Malfoy comes in and ruins everyone's day. And he ruins the whole lands. And then we find out that Ignitus was telling this to the egg that Spyro's inside. He's telling to him like he can somehow hear, but he can't. Oh, here we are, the raid that happens. This was basically the opening cutscene of a new beginning being retold here. Very interesting. See, this script is mostly based on a new beginning, but as you'll see as we go on, there's also more elements taken from The Eternal Night and Dawn of the Dragon. Yeah, dragons are scrambling. Oh, Cyril gets killed. We got some elemental beasts. And then the elemental beast tried to steal the egg. Burst of fire. Spit green acid over him. And then Ignitus tries to escape with Spyro's egg, but he drops it. Now in the opening cutscenes, Ignitus intentionally sends Spyro down the river to keep him safe inside like a mushroom head that's made like a makeshift raft, and then it ends up with the Dragonfly family with Sparks. But here it's different. Spyro directly delivers the egg to the Dragonfly family. I'm back. Yeah, little glowing orbs of light. So we're introduced to Flash and Luna, who apparently are supposed to be different in appearance from the two dragonflies who were Spyro's foster parents in A New Beginning. I'm not even sure the male one was called Flash, but I'm pretty sure Luna was the name of the female one anyway. So it's all very serious initially, but then once we get to the scenes with the dragonflies, we start getting to the really corny and crappy jokes. So pretty strong opening in my opinion, but from this point on, the script takes a massive nosedive. We have these montages now. Yeah, there are quite a few montages. This script is like 89 pages long. Yeah, this script is like 89 pages long. And in filmmaking, 1 page of a script is equivalent to 1 minute of film. So, excluding the credits, this film would have been about 89 minutes long. With the credits, I imagine 95, 97 minutes. But there's a couple of Dragonfly montage sequences. There's a couple of montage sequences in the Dragonfly Glen which I feel should have been cut out, because it's nothing but filler and pointless, terrible, lowbrow humour. Enormous pair of booties. Crib crashing down. Dragonfly Doctor. Yeah, this scene could have been cut out. Now we go on to the Mountain of Malfor, and one of the original characters created for the film, Pox, who's supposed to be a bat. Not much I can really say about this, except that the egg, that he doesn't deliver the egg of prophecy, but instead Cinder's egg. We'll talk about Cinder's corruption scene later on. Yeah, not really much to say here. Not really much I can say about this scene. Oh, here we are. We have Spyro and Sparks hatching now. So they decide to name him on the spot. Oh, he starts flying back and forth in panic again. Quite lowbrow humour. How do they come up with the name Spyro right there on the spot? Oh, then Spyro and Sparks both start wailing. That would be a very cringy scene. Oh, the baby sequence. Oh no. This, I feel, should have been cut out even more than the Dragonfly parents preparing for their babies hatching. Spyro's just crying and crying throughout this whole sequence. It's so damn cringeworthy. It's bloody awful. And then there's the part with Spyro's nappy bursting at the seams. Oh no! Why did they hire what? I'm sure that the Altair brothers are nice people, but their writing is just horrendous, especially in scenes like this. This script started out with such a strong opening, and now we're dipping into lowbrow humour. Jesus Christ. So... Oh my god. So, oh, what do I want to say now? I've lost my train of thought now. Oh yes, the Legend of Spyro series was supposed to be, the game series was supposed to be aimed at a slightly older audience than the original games. Now, this is just, and the opening would give you that impression, but now it's just dipping into like very lowbrow kids film territory. I don't really think the Altair brothers were trying when they wrote this script. They were just given a synopsis of all three games, then wrote a script based on that and threw in some of their own lowbrow, cringy humour signature writing. Oh my god. The Altair brothers should not have been hired to write the script. If anything, even... You know who I think should have written this script? The same people who wrote the screenplay for Eragon. Eragon was not well received either, but I bet those writers could have done a far better job than the Altair brothers. And speaking of Eragon, the same producer of the same person who was the producer of the Eragon film adaptation in 2006 was also going to produce this Spyro film. See, it says here, from the producer of Eragon in the poster, based on the hugely successful Spyro video game franchise. Yeah, very nice. Anyway, onwards we go. Okay, and here we're introduced to the main running gag of this film: Spyro trying and failing miserably to fly. Spyro couldn't fly at the start of A New Beginning either. But then in that awesome scene about a quarter into the game, when Ignitus asks Spyro, tells Spyro to imagine his ancestors lifting him up, and the blood of his ancestors, and what his ancestors, all that stuff. It just him flying upward, and then he starts flying upwards. Spyro doesn't actually start flying until about 2/3 of the way into this script. He should have started flying a quarter into the script, just like he did in the game, in A New Beginning. He flaps faster and faster, jumps into the air, and crashes into the kitchen table. So yeah, yeah, that's the running gag of this film. We should wait until next season. Spyro, so here we have Spyro and Sparks going to school for the first time. Dragon's going to school. That's not really an idea that sits well with me. But Spyro can run faster than Sparks here. One thing I do like... Okay, I will admit that this isn't the worst film script ever written, but so far it has... But this isn't the worst film script ever written, in my opinion. Norm of the North is definitely worse. There's some pretty good action, and it does know when to be serious. And there are some very cute moments like this one here. But as I said, this script is mainly let down by the cheesy and corny, childish humour. Had the humour been better conceived, the humour was really snappy and quippy in the games. The humour needed to be like that in this script, not childish, lowbrow humour. But yeah, Spyro and Sparks' chemistry, I will admit, is kind of cute, and there are more cute moments in this script as well. And and Sparks getting a crush, the love interest humor trope. Again, very generic, childish humor here. Blah. No problem, blah. Okay, I'll admit that one is a little funny. Glimmer and blah. Okay, that is a little funny, I admit. Fight or flight. So now we're at school, and so now it's the scene at Dragonfly School. Spyro and Sparks learning how to fly. Yeah, they choose flight. All the class oohs and ahs. Yeah, he can't fly. And now we move on to another montage sequence with getting creative. There's a moment where Spyro is actually inflated at one point. Spyro is actually inflated at one point, yeah. Can you tell that this is kind of like, I reckon some Spyro fans think that the Altair brothers had some sort of fetish, some sort of cringy fetish. Ah, bloody hell. Yeah, another montage scene. There shouldn't have been this many montage scenes in it either. I really don't think the Altair brothers tried that hard, as I said. What do you call a dragonfly? A dragon walk. Bloody hell. Why are you purple? Oh, for goodness sake, and we've got the generic bully characters as well. Oh, dear. Generic, lazy, cliche writing. With a few elements of the Legend of Spyro games. With a few plot elements of the Legend of Spyro games thrown in. That's all this script is. Spyro walking off. Okay, and then the elemental beasts start attacking the Dragonfly Glen. And then we have another moment from the, taken from A New Beginning, which I like. Spyro, without thinking, breathing fire and scorching the elemental beasts. That's pretty cool. Yeah, blast of orange fire. There we are. Another moment taken from the game, which I like. See, there are a few moments. It's definitely a much more faithful video game adaptation than others. I mean, certainly a lot more faithful than the live-action Mario film. Definitely. What am I? And Spyro discovers that he's a dragon, finally. He finally learns the truth that he's a dragon. Spyro doesn't smile back. Oh, and this is actually pretty cute. Sparks proposing that Spyro could be his bodyguard. And Sparks going, "Brar!" I will admit, that is pretty cute. Yeah, cool. And then Spyro decides to leave. he has fair reasonings for wanting to run away. He fears he'll put everyone in danger if he stays. Yeah, fair reasoning, I suppose. That's still pretty cute. Pardon me. So Spyro, once he's run away, he tries to light a fire with his fire breath, but it doesn't work. Some dragon I am. Yeah, very depressing. Okay, now we come to an interesting scene with Malfoy. The first time we see Cinder being corrupted. Unlike this is one change that from the script that I do like. We actually get to see Cinder being corrupted and bulked up into her evil form. Yeah, this is one thing that I do like. One change that I do like. And the way it's written, with her starting to grow and Malfoy speaking, take away your fear, give spark to your darkest powers. I mean, it's only seen from a shadow, but at least we still get to see it. Pretty damn cool either way. So that's one thing I do like about this script. One change I do like about this script. Still here, still alone. Okay, now we cut back to Spyro. And then Spyro discovers that his food has been stolen by spiders. He goes into a dark cave. And then he's captured and the spiders are going to eat him. And then he's rescued by Hunter. Yes, Hunter from... Hunter, who didn't appear in the Legend of Spyro until Dawn of the Dragon, is present in this film. See, I told you this script didn't just take elements from A New Beginning. Greetings, Dragon of Prophecy. Oh yeah, this is another running gag with Hunter. Him bowing whenever he hears the words Dragon of Prophecy. Slightly better humour, but not by much. Barely know what I am. Give Spyro a warm smile. That's cute. Yeah. Hunter is a... I quite like Hunter in this script. Sorry, old habits. These are dark times, little one. The evil one. So, and then Sparks finds Spyro again. I'll give you... Oh, for goodness sake. Ah, goodness me. I shall not fall for that one again. Yeah. Okay, interesting. They'll be fine anyway. So now we come to the Dragon Temple and Spyro finally meets Ignitus. Spyro and Sparks initially think that Ignitus wants to attack them, so they run off, and then Sparks rides Spyro like a toboggan down a snowy hill, with Ignitus calling them back. Yeah, if this film had actually been made, Sparks riding Spyro like a toboggan would no doubt have been in the trailer. I could guarantee that it would have been in the trailer. Sorry guys, just got a notification on my phone. Right, anyway, so Ignitus drops out of the sky. And then Hunter tells them he's not gonna hurt them. Have some identification. There isn't much to explain. Yeah, these walls have withstood great battles. Yeah, I really like Ignitus in this film. He's shown to be a lot more. At this point of the film, he's shown to be a much more older and frail, and his wings are faded. He's shown to be much older and more frail than he was. Than he was at the start of the film. Time has begun to take its toll. And then Ignitus finally properly tells Spyro the story of the history of of dragons before Malfoy came. Yes. When he can actually hear him this time, unlike at the beginning of the film when he couldn't hear him. Wage war on all dragonkind. It's never really explained why Malfoy wants to wage war on dragonkind. Just that he was incredibly overpowered. Granted, the games don't give much reason outside of he became too overpowered, either. But I guess it's not really a massive gripe of mine. He learned the existence of a powerful crystal called the Life Gem. Each dragon that fell added to his power. And then the serious tense, and then the serious This serious pivotal scene is ruined by Sparks destroying the painting of the story of the dragons. See, this is the main problem with this script. All of its serious moments are too unevenly and too suddenly imbalanced by all of these terrible humorous bits that the Altair brothers just force into all of their scripts. And then Ignitus tells Spyro that he's the Dragon of Prophecy. But there's no mention of the Purple Dragon legend in here. There's no mention of Spyro being purple, being special here. Just that he's the Dragon of Prophecy and nothing else. Nothing about Malfoy also being a purple dragon, and that's why he became so evil and overpowered. It's kind of weird how they just say that Spyro's the Dragon of Prophecy, and with no mention of his uniqueness of being a purple dragon whatsoever. You thought you were Dragonfly. Imagine how he might surprise you tomorrow. There is no question. Then Spyro denies Ignitus, which is what he did at first, but then Ignitus convinces him to fight, exactly as he did in A New Beginning, but only after Spyro sees that the Dragonfly Glen is in flames, is in ruins. Okay, this is the only montage sequence I feel fits the game. Spyro training to use his elemental abilities. So, in the games it was fire, electricity, ice, and earth. And here it's wind, lightning is called, electricity is called lightning, and earth is replaced with wind. That is a change I like, I guess. I mean, wind would be cooler to see on screen than earth. And then Sparks makes a fart joke. Already got wind down, you must, about the first time you ate bean bugs. Blew me right out of the room. Stop with these awful jokes. Please, script. I'm begging you. Humour like this simply doesn't work for a Spyro film, let alone one based on the Legend of Spyro. Oh, this line was taken from A New Beginning as well. Feel the blood of your ancestors coursing through your veins. But that's when Spyro was attempting to fly. Small puff of smoke. Oh, for goodness sake. And then he fails to fly yet again. Small ice cube, now he can make iced tea. And then Spyro tells Sparks to shut up and electrocutes him. And then from here on out, Spyro from here on out, Spyro's abilities get better and better, but he still can't fly yet. Oh, here we are. This is important. We get to see Cinder in the flesh for the first time. I will not. Raspy snarling. Nice. We actually get to see Cinder interacting with Malfoy, which I like. She never interacted with Malfoy in the game because Malfoy was still like underground in the thing in the core of the earth. Boy, I wish I was bigger. Yeah, don't we all wish that? If only Cinder was in her juiced up, bulked up form, but wasn't evil. Wouldn't that be nice to see? Malfoy room of shadows. Got any sword? Important question, you got any sword? Oh, for goodness sake. And then the goblins start attacking the temple again. And then Sparks, without thinking, attacks them. Fight or flight, remember. And at this point, and this is the point where Spyro finally learns to fly. Now fly, dragon, fly. This part is a nice scene, and I will also admit that the scene where Spyro takes to the air for the first time is very well handled and very cute. Spyro like shouting there. A broad smile on his face. Oh my god, that would have been so cute to look at. This is another one of those cute moments. I feel would have actually been good in the script. It feels amazing. That line really does make me wonder what Spyro was feeling when he was flying in this script. It feels amazing. Did he feel like completely weightless or something? It would have been. I'm sure whatever he was feeling in this script, it was very, very incredibly pleasant. And then Spyro and Cinder finally come face to face. Cinder tries to attack Spyro, but then they realise that they're somehow related, born into the same colony, let's say, of eggs. flies wildly through the air, and then Ignitus is attacked by Cinder. Yeah, Ignitus and Cinder battle, and then Cinder knocks Ignitus out of the sky. And then Ignitus has fallen indeed. If Spyro answers lock, and then he fades away. Flows out of his body and streams into the sky. And then he's captured in the light gem by Malfoy. Ah, God. Then Cinder tries to kill Spyro, but then the mole, Spyro, Sparks, and Hunter, but then they're saved by the moles, and then they fall down into the earth. Cinder roars in anger. Then they meet Mole Yeah. I can't remember if Mole Yeah was introduced in A New Beginning or The Eternal Night. If you guys remember which one, please do let me know. And then we have the cliche scene of all hope being lost now that the mentor is dead, basically. Yeah, pretty cliche scene. They're not gonna be Glens anymore. But then yet more cliche scene of Spyro, of the moles agreeing to help give Spyro courage. Yeah, friends by your side and all that jazz. More cliche writing. Deary, deary me. 10,000 strong. So Ignitus' essence then enters the life gem. Cinder returns, and this is a pretty cool scene. Malfoy uncorrupting Cinder, basically. So Spyro isn't the one who uncorrupts her, Malfoy is. And then she shrinks back into her normal, into the form she was born in. The size of Spyro. Pretty cute. And then Malfoy finally, who's been in the shadows for most of the film, finally emerges, and we finally get to see what he looks like. I imagine he wouldn't have looked much different from how he looks in Dawn of the Dragon. Then the Dark Master is about to kill Cinder when the final battle begins, with Spyro and Sparks wearing cute little golden helmets. That would definitely have been look quite cute. And then there's a massive battle. I bet the battle would have just looked like a pretty cliche medieval battle in film, though. Becoming a cheetah warrior. Then Spyro uses all of his elemental beast on Malfoy's minions. Pretty cool battle. Yeah, bolts of lightning. Very cliche battle. And then Ignitus, believe you must believe. That's definitely that's definitely paying homage to Star Wars: A New Hope when Luke hears Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice saying, use the Force, Luke. Oh, this is a pretty cool line from Spyro. I am the Dragon of Prophecy. Again, no mention of Spyro being a rare purple dragon or anything. And then Spyro finally defeats the Dark Master. And I think Spyro defeating the Dark Master, Spyro defeating Malfoy releases all of the dead dragons from inside the Life Gem, including Ignitus, so that kind of takes away the weight of Ignitus's death, but I guess it does make sense why Ignitus is alive again now. Ignitus smiling warmly, pretty cute. Voltaire. Cyril, Voltaire, and Terrador, all the other elemental dragons, who are only seen at the very beginning of the film, but now appear again, though they play much bigger roles. Though the 3 other elemental dragons, besides Ignitus, play a much bigger role in the they play a much bigger role in the actual games. Truly great warrior. He is a truly great warrior. Come here, little one, it's okay. Ignite saying that to Cinder, come here, little one, it's okay. Oh, very cute. Very cute and very wholesome line from Ignitus there. I know, it is pretty cute. Cinder apologising. Very cute scene. Yeah, the ending is pretty cute. The ending is very cute. Going to be different. Oh, Dragon's a moment, cheaters. So they cheer. And then they return home to the Dragonfly again. No, very nice. Oh, not that joke again. Spyro flies up, lands on the edge of the cliff, gazing out over the landscape. Again, that must have, if that had actually been in the film, that surely would have made for a very beautiful shot. Very cool. And then the wind, and then he lets the wind catch his wings and raise them up behind him. Very proud ending. A new fresco painting. It's the exact same image. That image of Spyro, obviously in the Dragon Room of Prophecy, and then it cracks. It crumbles to pieces, and then Sparks claims innocence, and then cut to black, and that's the end. Yeah. Well, overall, that wasn't the worst. This script could have been much worse, but good lord, it was bad at times, with all those awful lowbrow humour jokes that just don't at all fit into the tone of the Legend of Spyro games, or even the original Spyro games. I reckon this would have been both a critical and a financial failure had it become an actual film, and then it probably may have even killed the Spyro franchise altogether. If this film had been released and killed the Spyro franchise, we wouldn't have gotten the Reignited trilogy, and I don't think I would have discovered Spyro, my favourite video game franchise of all time. Because I did find out about Spyro through the Reignited trilogy. Through finding out about the Reignited trilogy. So, I definitely, so I guess in a way I'm kind of glad this film was never made, because, it was never actually made, because if it had killed the Spyro franchise, I don't think I would be I don't think would be my favourite video game franchise, because I don't think I would have discovered it, which would have been a massive bummer. So yeah, thank you for not greenlighting this film, Activision, I suppose. That's one good... I know you're a pretty controversial company, but not greenlighting this film, I think, was a smart move. So... But overall, I feel this script has the same problems as the script of the 2004 Thunderbirds film. While both scripts had elements of their respective source materials and were serious when they needed to be, they were let down by childish, lowbrow jokes and humour and a very cliche hero's journey arc. Again, I don't think this would have been the worst, one of the worst animated films ever made. Just very cliche, one with very lowbrow humour, with occasional badass and cute moments in it. Overall, I think the Ratchet and Clank film that would be made 7 years later is definitely better. I mean, based on what I've seen of the film on YouTube, the jokes in that seem to be a lot better than the jokes here. But I'd certainly still take this film any day over things like Norm of the North and all those mockbuster films made by those other companies. And I'd probably even take this over the Emoji Movie. In fact, I certainly would. I did like the Emoji Movie when it first came out, as some of you know, but not anymore. So yeah, overall, while this film wouldn't have been great, I don't think it's one of the worst scripts ever written. As I said, some good moments, some badass and cute moments, but mostly pretty bad. Also, as many of you know, as part of my planned professional filmmaking career, I plan on making my own Spyro films. A quadrilogy of films. A quadrilogy of films that'll be more based on the original Spyro games, the Insomniac, like the Reignited trilogy, as well as the potential Spyro game that's currently in development that I'm really looking forward to, if and when it comes out. I really do hope that the new Spyro game will come out, that Spyro 4 that's rumored to be in development will come out. I mean, if we got Crash Bandicoot 4, then surely we'll get Spyro 4 as well. But yeah, I didn't think that that the stories I'd come up with for my Spyro films were that impressive either. But after reading this script, this script makes the story I have planned for my first Spyro film, which will be based on the very first Spyro game. This script makes my story for a Spyro film look like Terminator 1 in comparison. That's how bad I think this script is. But as I said, I don't think this would have been one of the worst animated films of all time, but still not good. And I definitely feel that my Spyro films will be much more faithful to the original Spyro games than this film was to The Legend of Spyro. Yeah, and as I said, if this film had actually been made, it would have killed Spyro. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all looking forward to the other 2 videos I've got planned for Spyro Month. My Enter the Dragonfly YouTube poop that's still in the works. And I've got one more idea for a Spyro Month video, but I haven't solidly decided on it yet. We'll see what happens though. I hope you're all looking forward to the last couple videos of Spyro Month, of this year's Spyro Month. And I hope you're especially all looking forward to my Spyro film quadrilogy in like 20-ish years from now. I'm hoping that my Spyro film quadrilogy is going to be released. But that's it from me, guys. Thanks again so much for watching. Please like, comment, share this video with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to me, TrainLover16, if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye, everyone!